Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris. Hope you're all good. Today I'm actually filming on a different setup. I've changed things around a little bit. You won't really notice too much just because it looks exactly the same, but for me it's much easier to get going on my YouTube videos. I'm actually filming on the A7 III with a 24mm on crop mode, whereas normally I film on the 35mm, and it's actually on a magic arm. Let me just record my little setup here on my phone. So we've got the Falcon Eyes RX8T, I think it is, with a little umbrella. And then up here, I've got the A7 III connected to a magic arm. Normally I've got a tripod here in this little gap, which is just not on at all. Got the Andy Cine monitor, which I'm still using if I'm filming in HD. If I'm filming in 4K, I can't really use it. It's a little bit messy up here. But yeah, that's my setup at the moment. Got the iPad down there for the script, and I'm hoping I'm getting another magic arm to put here so that I can have a microphone on it. Anyway, what you're here for is the Sandmarc macro lens for iPhone. And when they approached me, I was kind of like, I'm not really a macro kind of guy. That's a really different ball game for me. I take video, photos of events and things like that. Macro is just a different thing to learn. And so would I do this lens justice? But then I thought, you know what, let's try something new and see if I can get this lens working in a way that I would film with it. What we're seeing a lot these days is these crappy 2-megapixel macro cameras on the back of phones. And so when Sandmarc approached me with a decent macro lens, I was like, I've got to try this to see if people can actually get good macro photography on phones without dedicated macro lenses. Obviously what you've just seen is some B-roll filmed entirely on the iPhone 11 Pro Max at an arcade. When Sandmarc sent me the macro lens, I was like, I'm not going to take pictures of flowers straight away. I want to go try it, find something new, and I couldn't find any macro photos of arcades anywhere. It was very tough, but we definitely got some good shots, particularly that eye shot, which is my favourite. So let's take a look at the box. Inside you'll get a case which you'll need to put on your phone to add the lens, the clamp which you can also use to attach your lens in a pinch, the lens itself which has lens caps both sides, and a lens hood and a little pouch for it all. Literally all you have to do is put the case on, screw the lens on top. It does work best on the main camera of the iPhone, but it works on the telephoto camera in good light. The lens itself feels pretty weighty. Apart from that, there's not really much to say about it, but there must be some serious glass in here because for such a small thing, it is actually pretty weighty. The way it connects to the case is obviously by a screw, and most of the time this worked, but sometimes we did struggle to screw that in. The case, this is the iPhone 11 Pro Max case, and it did fit on the phone perfectly, but it was quite difficult to get off the first time. I'm assuming after a few tries, it will loosen up and it'll be easy to get the case off. So I've also taken some photos of some generic objects, which you can see here, and this is just to test how close you can get to things and just how awesome it looks in macro mode. But obviously this lens is good, so what are the benefits? Just why would you buy the Sandmarc macro lens for iPhone? And I think one of the main reasons is obviously if you're into macro photography, then you don't have to take your big camera around with you with your macro lens or macro adapter. And I think that's quite a big thing. All you have to do is take this little lens and the case, or even just the clamp, and you can take macro photography anywhere. And again, it's so much better than taking macro photos with those horrible 2-megapixel macro cameras that are on phones at the moment. It's also great for video. Connected to the main camera on the iPhone 11 Pro Max, it actually worked really well. It was steady, which was quite surprising because often when you're using macro you have to keep it on a tripod, whereas we filmed all of our macro shots handheld, and yeah, it was a tiny bit shaky, but overall I think it was pretty steady considering. In terms of the actual images coming out of this thing, look, it is a phone camera at the end of the day. You're going to need perfect lighting for these macro shots for them to be as sharp as possible. But honestly, I just can't fault the quality of it. It's really nice for those close-up shots. There's clearly some nice glass in here. It's sort of sharp from edge to edge. So anyone into macro photography or macro video is going to be really pleased with a lens like this for the iPhone. And in case you didn't have an iPhone, you can actually clamp it on to a Samsung. Let me just try and find one. So here's the little clamp. If you screw the lens onto here, and once you've screwed it onto the clamp, all you have to do is clamp it onto the phone like that, and you have yourself a macro lens on any phone. Don't tell Sandmarc I told you this, and obviously take it with a pinch of salt. These lenses are designed just for iPhone, so if you're using it for any other phone, your results might vary. So in conclusion then, this is a bit of a short video, I know, but I'm not a macro photography expert and I don't want to act like one. So what I do think is that if you are into macro photo and video, especially on your phone, there's no reason you shouldn't be taking this out and about. Just because it's so small, it fits into a little pouch in your pocket. You don't need to take a big camera with a macro lens. And honestly, what they say is the best camera is the one you have with you, right? And this you can have with you at all times. For me personally, I might use it for some specialised shots, some shots to wow people, maybe some product shots for thumbnails or stuff like that. But actually it just makes me excited to maybe use some other Sandmarc lenses in the future and just see how far we can take phone photography, so we don't have to take those big cameras every time we're travelling somewhere. That's it from me. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'm really intrigued to see what you guys can do with macro lenses on your phone. So if you've got any links to any photos you've taken, that'd be great as well. I'd love to see it in the comments down below. If you've got any comments or opinions on the lens, then again, comment down below. And if you've got any questions, then let me know as well. If you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty of videos coming on cameras, lenses, all sorts of tutorials. So yeah, hit that subscribe button if you want to see more videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.